Hello, dear student. In today's class, we are going to learn about cell, tissue, and organs, or we can say we are going to have glimpse about human physiology. So let's begin with. So we know that humans are made up of cell, tissue, and organ. So before we go to understand what cell are, what tissue are, what organs are, we need to have this hierarchy into our mind. That is, group of cell together makes tissue and layers of tissue together makes organ. An organ, or we can say group of organ like our brain, heart, etc. together makes entire body. We can say entire system. So that was basic hierarchy of human physiology, in which you can say cell are at the top bottom level, bottommost level. So here is my question for you. At which particular part in body the energy is generated? Think about it and then answer. So I hope your answer must be mitochondria. So at which particular part in our body the energy is generated? The answer is at the cell, specifically at the mitochondria. And through the process of respiration, the energy is generated. So now let's understand what is a cell. What are cells? So we can say cell are the smallest biological unit and make up all living organisms. So cell are the basic or the smallest biological unit of life, we can say, of any body. So does this implies that cell are the smallest thing in our body? The answer is no. The moment back we have talked of mitochondria, the power production house or power generating house is smaller than cell. But important thing that mitochondria alone cannot do all the function which are required, the necessary function. If I ask you what are the necessary set of function to live, so you might be saying that energy, we need energy to do daily tasks, or we need little bit of, we can say, digestion, and you can say our body need to be grow, or we can say protein manufacturation in the body. So if there is no protein in the body will not grow. You will remain what you are today. So in the same way, in that particular cell, in the same way, in that particular cell, if if there is energy producing house, protein manufacturing house, and some small step of things like they are associated in transporting materials, cleaning, etc. If these all together are present, we say that thing is able to do the basic necessary task, right? That's why we call cell are the necessary basic necessary task. When we peep inside the cell, we see different organelles like mitochondria for energy production, Golgi body for protein transformation, and some of other organelles for the formation of protein, manufacturing of protein and fat, lipid, etc. So we call these particular things organelles. Organelles are part of the cell. So from here we can see that organelles are smaller than cell. So cell is not the smallest unit, but it is smallest biological or structural functional unit of the cell, because the smallest unit like the organelles of the cell like mitochondria, Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, these alone are not able to perform the necessary task. So this is the basic difference between being smallest functional structural unit. So now I ask a question to you that what do you think is the function of leaf in the plant? Think about it. And I suppose that you have guessed the answer correct. So what is the function of leaves in the plant, then your answer must be leaves prepare food through the process of photosynthesis. Just a moment back, I said that every organism is made up of cell. So in the entire body of an organism, whether it is plant or animal, so there must be cell, group of cell. So we know that plant leaf prepare food. So from here we can see that all the particular cell, group of cell must be doing the same process, that is preparing food through the process of photosynthesis. That is what exactly the definition of tissue. We initially talked of tissue is the group of cell. So we can again refine this definition by saying tissue is a group of cell that have the same structure and function. Now recall the plant leaf, cell of the plant leaf again. You know, this particular plant leaf is made up of different cell, millions of cell. And this is a leaf, and you know what is the function of leaf? Preparing food through photosynthesis, right? So this leaf consists of numerous cells. So we can conclude that all the cell in this particular leaf must be preparing food through photosynthesis. Now they are doing same task. All of these cells are doing same task. Since they are doing same type of task, so they need to have similar structure, right? That is what the definition of the tissue is. Tissue is a group of cells that have similar structure, and if they have similar structure, they might be performing similar function. The vice versa is also true, meaning if they have similar function, they might have similar structure or approximate similar structure, right? Now again a question for you: what is the function of human heart? Think about it. Now I suppose you have answered it correctly and you have think the correct answer. The correct answer is human heart transport the blood into various part of our body, or we can say into the entire body. And this particular blood is used in the particular cell which carries oxygen and which is necessary for respiration, or we can say indirectly production of energy. Now, what we can say about the organ? Organ are made up of two or more type of tissue organized to perform a specific function. Now, let's consider again the example of heart. What do you think? So, you said that heart is necessary for pumping, we can say, or blood transportation. So, we can say that the muscle of this particular heart must have ability to contract, alternatively contract, rhythmic contract and relaxation so that they can pump. So it has ability to contract and relax as well. So all the layers which are tissues have ability to contract and relax in that particular heart. That's why we call organ, and it perform similar specific function. In case of heart, it was transportation of blood. Okay, now you might ask a question: how cell, tissue, or organs are related to each other? Recall the initial hierarchy that we have studied earlier. So, group of cell together makes tissue, or group of tissue makes organ, right? Now, how do these particular organism, how do all these particular things help organism to survive? So, our heart carries transport bloods to the various part of the body or organs so they can perform their respective task. Example, blood, if the blood is transported to our mind, so our mind can perform a specific task. If it is being transported to the hands, they can perform a specific task. So they all help us to survive. Now let's recall what we have understood in this particular class. So cell, tissue, and organ. Think about it. Okay, I hope you have recall all of these things we have learned in today's class. Cell are the basic unit or the smallest structural or functional unit of the body, they generate energy, and this task is done by mitochondria, manufacture protein, done by endoplasmic reticulum, and transport minerals. It is done by a specific organelle of the cell, which is Golgi body or Golgi body. Tissues. What are tissue? Remember the case of leaf. So tissue are group of cell together performing particular function, or we can say similar function, and due to that they have similar shape and structure. What are organ? We can say group of tissue makes organ, and an organ is assigned to do a specific task. We have taken example of heart, which is who is assigned to transport the blood. We can take all other organ, and they also have some of the specific tasks. Okay, thank you for your attention in this particular class. Happy learning and have a great day.